normally start my reset videos by doing my makeup. For good reason, clearly, because they just dropped it everywhere. But 2024 is the year of changing it up. Sometimes I feel like this content can get a little bit repetitive. I mean, I enjoy creating the content and I'm sure you guys enjoy watching it, but I think it's fun to change it up a little bit. I'm trying to try out new things in 2024, just like push myself a little bit in terms of my content. Maybe sometimes making these monthly resets more vlog style, just like a little bit more casual, personable, if you will. And this is my way of doing that. I thought it'd be fun to sit down, do my makeup and get ready for the day while I run through my goals from January, see how we went with those, talk through my new goals for February, and then we will of course sit down and run through our budget and all things finance as well. But yeah, welcome to my February reset. If you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back, and if you are new, welcome to the family. My name is Ella. I'm 27. I live in Adelaide with my husband and our Cocker Spaniel Mabel Moo. I do a lot of lifestyle content, vlogs, and personal finance videos. Every month I sit down, I do these monthly resets, talk through my hopes, dreams, and desires, reflect on the previous month, and then we budget in like the most honest and transparent way that we can. I've been talking about this a lot on my Instagram and TikTok, but I think 2024 is the year of financial transparency and just financial empowerment. I've been sharing our real nitty-gritty numbers in terms of our income and our spending for the last 3 years online, and it's been such a journey. You guys have really been there through it all, through bouts of unemployment and just like financial uncertainty, going from just renting to renting and paying for a mortgage and now just paying for a mortgage, and just all of the highs and lows. It's been a wild ride. We now have our beautiful Moo here for the journey. Do you want to say hi? Say hi, guys. We're all about keeping it real around here in the most honest and transparent way, just to create that conversation around personal finance. It's something I'm so passionate about. I literally feel it in my heart and soul. People just don't talk about money. Why is money still such a taboo thing, especially for young women? And I see it time and time again. Every time I post a TikTok or an Instagram reel, the comments, I mean, most of them are lovely, but the negative comments I receive are 9 times out of 10 from insecure men that can't handle a woman taking control of her finances and being somewhat financially literate. Like, let's be honest, I'm not an expert. This is not financial advice. I say this time and time again. Like, I'm just literally out here sharing my own journey, but just even that, it's like threatening to them, and I love that. That just motivates me to do it even more, if I'm being honest. Yeah, 2024 is the year of financial empowerment and conversation around finance. We're making it less of a taboo thing. We are being transparent, and we are learning from one another and trying to be our best selves. So yeah, that's what I do every single month on my channel, and this is my February reset. I always start by going over my goals from the previous month, just because I think it's a nice way to start off and just like get motivated. I had a really good month this past month, so I always break up my goals into different categories. Sorry, hopefully me doing my makeup as I'm going isn't distracting. I just thought it was like a nice point of difference. So I have 5 different categories. First one is personal goals. My first goal was to plan meals on Sundays, which we did do. We were actually really proactive about this, and because of that we were able to try a new recipe every week, which was one of my 2024 goals. Next goal was to choose our book club book, which we have done. We have started, and I'm actually really struggling to get into. I messaged my friends and I think we're all feeling the same, but we chose Boy Swallows Universe, I think it's called. I did read 2 books though this month, which I'm so proud of. I finished Fourth Wing, which I loved. That was like a 4.5 star for me. I talked about both of the books I read in my last vlog if you want to know my thoughts and feelings, but yeah, love Fourth Wing. I also read None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell, which is a thriller. I gave that one 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I literally read it in 2 sittings, less than 24 hours. I finished the whole thing, so I did really enjoy it up until like the last 15% of the book, and then I felt like it lost steam and I was kind of like expecting another twist, which never came. Next goal was to finish planning our US trip, which I did do. I've literally planned out every single minute of every hour of every day. That's just like my type A personality. This month I wanted to go on 2 day nights, which we did do. Had so much fun. And then my other goal was to take an afternoon off social media 4 times this month. Didn't even do it once, guys. Didn't even do it once. Is that a sign of a phone addiction? Perhaps? I don't know. For my health and wellness goals, I wanted to start pickleball, which we have done. We've actually done it 3 times now. I'm so proud of us. I say us, me and my best friend, Olivia. We have started our pickleball journey. It's actually so much fun. I'm very proud of us for starting that. I think it's really easy to say, oh, I'm gonna do that, or I would love to do this, but to actually do it, and doing it with someone else, I think really holds you accountable. That's been like a saving grace, is knowing that I'm gonna see my best friend, hang out with her. If I don't go, like, I'm letting her down as well, so we kind of just like holding each other accountable. I love it. Did do our daily walks this month. I'm I'm gonna say I worked up to the gym 3 times a week. I've been going on average like twice a week, but I think we're nearly there. We're nearly there with introducing the third gym session. Did not do my daily gratitudes, and I did not create a cleaning schedule. That's something I'm still trying to work on. I've had a few comments suggesting that we hire a cleaner, which I would love to know if you guys do that, how that works, the cost of that. Obviously it's so dependent on your house and where you live, but it's definitely something that I'm considering, which might be controversial, but if it can give us back some extra time in our week, that's invaluable to me. For my financial goals, I wanted to save at least $3,500 for a US trip, which we've done. We've actually saved a lot more than that. I'll talk more when we go over our budget. I wanted to invest. I haven't done it as of right now, but we still have one more paycheck due to come in, which we'll talk about again when I go over my budget, and then we will invest. So I'm going to tick this one off. Pay off extra towards our car loan. Again, we'll be doing that next pay cycle, and then make $5,000 with my business income, which we have done, which is super exciting. Then for my business goals, I wanted to sign 2 new brand deals. We've done that. Hit 48,000 subscribers on YouTube. We've also done that. We're actually so close to 50,000 subscribers. I feel like this has been a lifelong dream. Like literally, I've been on YouTube for years, 10 plus years on and off, and that was always my big subscriber goal, and to be so darn close is so exciting. And then post 5 finance related TikToks or Instagram reels. We also did do that. I'm really proud of the content that I've been posting. I'm excited for more of that, more personal finance content. Like I just find it so motivating. It really keeps me on track with my finances, or our finances should I say, because Nick and I do share all of our money. But I find it really motivating for myself, and then just seeing the comments and just this little community that we've created that's like centered around personal finance, but also involves like lifestyle stuff and just that balance. It's really that crossroad between personal finance and budgeting, and also the lifestyle side of things and enjoying life and going for a coffee and spending time with friends, traveling, like all of that kind of stuff. And then my 5th and final category is house goals. So these are things that I just want to get done around the house, my house to-dos if you will. So first one was to buy a bar cart. We've done that. I'll share that with you guys in a vlog soon. And then declutter the entire house. This is maybe a little ambitious. We've started decluttering. We still have some work to do, but we'll carry that over to our February goals. Moving on to my February goals. For personal goals, I want to take a morning/afternoon off social media. We're carrying this over from last month because I did not do that at all. Also want to read 2 books. A lot of these are quite repetitive, and I mean, you'll probably see that a lot this year. Go on 2 day nights as well this month. And I also want to start scrapbooking. For my health and wellness goals, daily walks, gym 3 times a week this month. Also close my Apple rings every day. Also want to do a 15-minute daily tidy. We've been kind of introducing this concept over the last few months. And it wasn't the best about doing it in January. But when we do, like, makes a world of difference. It really does. It just, everything feels so much more manageable in terms of housework. Also would love to create our cleaning schedule, or figure out potentially hiring a cleaner or what that might look like. I still don't know if that's an avenue that we're going to go down, but figuring out something in terms of our cleaning schedule and also our daily gratitudes. Cool. And then for my financial goals, we want to finish saving for our US trip, which I think we'll be able to do this month. So exciting. Why do I keep doing a thumbs up? Like, I need to stop. I need to sit on my hands or something, honestly. I also want to invest this month. This goal derives from one of my 2024 goals. I haven't given it a specific amount, but we'll loop back to this and be specific when I finish doing my budget. Same with paying extra towards our car loan. I haven't given a specific amount at this point because I don't know what our money situation is looking like, but we'll loop back to it. And then I want to have a low spend month this month. I think if there's ever a month to do it, it's probably in February. It's a shorter month, right? I had one low spend month in 2023, which was September, and you could visually see, like with the graph, like it fully dip, and that was just so motivating. So I want a few more dips in my spending graph. And then for my business goals, very similar to last month, I would love to sign 2 new brand deals, hit 49,000 subscribers on YouTube. That would be super cool. And then I also want to start a new finance series on either TikTok or Instagram, or maybe both. I have a few ideas in the pipeline, so we'll see what happens with that. And then I only have one house goal. Obviously, we're trying to have a low spend month, so I don't want to be buying a bunch of stuff for the house. We do have some bigger goals for 2024, but this month just really working on decluttering the entire house so we have a fresh space that we can then decorate. And yeah, those were my goals for February. That was fun. I am ready for my day, ready to conquer the world. We're going to sit down in front of my computer now, run through our budget. I'm so excited to talk about January, you guys. I am really happy with this month. But before I do, I have a couple of adjustments I need to quickly make. So you guys can see we currently have $499.92 left to spend. So this is the amount that's sitting in our everyday spending account. We haven't allocated it to anything. It's just for our general expenses like coffee, petrol, whatever might come up. We do, as I'm filming this, still have a couple days left of the month, so this will go down. And we do also have Nick's final paycheck still left to be paid. That's coming in on the 31st of January. But for the purpose of this exercise, and so I know how much we have to carry over to February, I'm just going to act like he's already been paid and then budget from there. I kind of already do this anyway, like before every pay cycle. I've already decided in my head exactly where that money's going anyway. So I guess I can show you guys how I do it. So that gives us just over $3,000 left to budget with. The first thing I like to do is just make sure all of our bills have been paid for, which I can see they have. Subscriptions, our mortgage has been paid, that's all good to go. We've paid the minimum amount for our car loan, which is $440. So then we can have a look at our savings and how we can achieve our savings budget, or like our savings goal. So I wanted to save $6,924.60. This is just the amount that we had left over when I did our budget, because I like to do a $0 budget every month. So we're $688.95 away from that, so we can definitely put some money towards that. And then I made a few adjustments. I think originally we were going to invest more in January, but I had to make a few alterations just with some things that came up. And then I would love to contribute more towards our car loan. So let's just do this, $688.95. I'm just going to round it up to $700 just to make things easy. So I go down to our transactions. This is literally what I would do every time I transfer. I'll do January 31st, so I remember. 700. So we'll go towards our travel savings, which is in our offset account. And then I just title it savings, so I know what that's for. I usually like to keep between $500 to $1,000 in our spending account, which is what this is, left to spend. That's literally just what's sitting in our debit account. I like to keep around that every week. Cool. 1504.48. I know some of this will spend in January because January is not quite over yet. So I'll play it safe and I'll say $250 towards ETF. So we'll invest $250. So then I can see, and I mean, you could do this too, like before you get paid, already decide exactly where that money is going so you can reach your financial goals. Investing. So I know as soon as Nick gets paid, $700 is going to offset account for our US trip, $850 extra towards our car loan, and then we're going to invest $250. And that'll give us $1,254.48 to carry over into February. I mean, this number will probably change. As I said, we still have a few days left of the month to make some transactions, but this is good to work off of. The creators of this spreadsheet, CoPlenty, which I always have linked down below with my discount code, they've updated this, so now the formula will carry over. So our monthly rollover will carry over into the next month, which is super cool. So we don't have to add it as income, which I was doing last year. So I love that. Yeah, let's talk through January. So income wise, it was good. It was a really good month. Nick made a little bit more because he gets paid leave loading. He took 3 weeks annual leave across Christmas and New Year's, so a bit of leave loading there, which is always nice. My paychecks were a little bit more. I did some overtime work. It's just been like super busy. Business was really, really good this month. I got paid $6,000 or just over $6,000 from AdSense, brand deals, a little bit of everything really. And this is always post-tax as well, I should mention. So thank you guys. And then miscellaneous, this is from online surveys, and I think also monthly rollover from last month because I was starting with a fresh new budget. And then Nick's final paycheck should be that amount. Bills, normal, nothing crazy there. Subscriptions, an extra $3.99. Amazon Prime is still $9.99, but I signed up for like Lionsgate or something, some TV streaming something. I signed up for something so me and my mum could watch The Act, and then I forgot to cancel it, so I need to cancel that. That's a good reminder actually. And then with our general spending, I'm actually so happy with this. As I said, the month isn't quite over yet, but we are $173.07 under budget. I I don't remember the last time. I literally do not remember the last time that we've been under budget. So I'm really, really happy. Obviously, there's been some categories that we've gone a little bit over, but in terms of our overall spending, under budget. Under budget. And I did make a few adjustments, I should say. So you'll notice here, I don't know what I originally budgeted for social, but I knew we were going to be getting paid a little bit more. And yeah, we just had a few social events that popped up, so this had to be up. Groceries, we spent $630.60, which is a lot more than usual. I actually upped our budget from $500 to $550 recently, and we still went over by $80. However, we barely ate out this month, really. Like, we didn't do much eating out, and we really curbed our takeaway spending as well. I think we got takeaway like twice this month, so that's why it's a little bit more, which makes sense. Obviously, we still gotta eat. Petrol, we were under budget. We only spent $118.70. Home, we went over because I bought a bar cart. Coffee, we were under budget. Eating out, we only spent $103. Date night, we spent $290.64, so $40 over. Mabel, we spent $202. Why were we over there? I budgeted $155 for our auto renew subscription for her dog food. Oh, there was a delay with the auto renew being delivered, and she ran out of dog food, so we had to go buy like a little bag. And then I also ordered some bully sticks as well. So yeah, anything for our girl. Entertainment, we spent $40.30. That was on movie tickets to see the new Wonka movie. Gifts, $96.50, $15.99 on some books, $39.15 on alcohol, only $116.75. I mean, we were over, but only $116.75 on takeaway. It's pretty good. Rideshare, $37. Metro, I spent $15, so right on budget. Clothing, only $98. Nothing on beauty. Miscellaneous, we were under. And then travel. This was another category that I added. So this is travel expenses that we pay for that we haven't saved for, if that makes sense. We have our travel fund up here, which this is pretty much just our US trip, but this is separate to that, if that makes sense, because it came out of our debit account. So $289.38, that was on flights to the Gold Coast because Nick's headed up there for a friend's engagement party. And then savings, you guys just saw, we saved $6,935.65 for our US trip, almost $7,000, which is crazy. Obviously, it helps that I had a good month with social media, so I'm really happy with that. And then we'll invest $250, hopefully. And then mortgage, nothing really crazy there. Car loan, paid extra towards, hopefully, when that final paycheck comes through. So having a look at our breakdown, 27.9% of our money went towards debt. So that's our mortgage and our car loan. That's fine. We've paid extra towards our car loan, so that's good. 44.5% of our income went towards savings, which is awesome. 20.7% towards our expenses. So these are our discretionary expenses. This has not been this low in a very long time. So I'm really proud of even having like quite a busy month. Like, I'm really proud of that. And then subscriptions is like nothing. I literally can't see it on the pie chart, 0.4%, and then bills 6.5% of our income. So yay us. I'm so happy with this. This is such a good way to start the new year. I'm feeling so motivated, really just happy with it, where everything's at. I feel like this is the perfect example of like a good budget. Our income's really healthy, which obviously I'm so grateful for and really helps, but rather than spending beyond our means or giving into lifestyle creep, like we're actually doing something with that money. We're saving it or paying extra towards debt. So I'm really proud of us for that. And yeah, it's just looking like a good healthy pie chart right there. I'm really happy with that. Over 70% of our income going towards debt or savings. Pretty crazy. Yeah, feeling really, really good about January. Feeling very motivated for February. As I said, January is always quite a busy month, and it was a busy month, very social. Obviously, you can see we spent like $600. But even so, we managed to keep things tidy, and I'm happy with that. Now moving on to our budget for February. Obviously, we're starting with about 1,200. It will probably be closer to, I'd say, 1,000 by the time the new month rolls around. We'll just work off of that for now, and then I can always adjust it afterwards. So payday, that will be the 14th, and then the 28th. So another last payday on the last day of the month. That's stunning. Mine is the 7th, the 21st, and then I always just say the 22nd. I will be working a couple of Saturdays in Feb, I think 2 from memory. So I'm going to say 2,000, oh, not 2,000, sorry, settle down. 1,500. I work part-time as a travel agent if you're new here. So I work 3 days a week and then I'll work the odd Saturday as well. Business income. I really don't know how to navigate talking about this because on one hand, I want to shout and scream from the rooftops because I'm so proud of this number that I'm about to share. I feel like I'm really building this up. I'm so proud and I'm so honored and I feel so incredibly lucky, and I wholeheartedly recognize my privilege to be in this position, and literally none of it would be possible without you guys. And so on one hand, I'm so proud, and I'm proud of this culmination of like 10 plus years of work to be able to support myself in this way is like crazy. But on the other hand, it's awkward. It's awkward to talk about. I think the thing is, like, no one talks about the money they make from social media. Like, no one really does, which is so within their right. Like, I get it. If you share your life online, you're already getting enough judgment in every other aspect. Like, why would you talk about money as well? Just add another thing to the list. So I 100% get it, and everyone, you know, it's their prerogative. But I think for myself, I've always like shown up online and been honest about my social media income. I think it would be dishonest of me to hide the money that I'm making this month just in an effort to seem more relatable or hide my privilege, because this is a privileged position to be in. No doubt about it, especially in this current economy. So I just want to recognize that, and I want to say the biggest freaking thank you to you guys, because this is insane. Like, obviously this is not just from 1 month, this is a span of several months of work, different payments come in at different times. So don't get used to this number, my love. I feel like I really built it up now. I feel awkward. Anyway, $10,000 after taxes and deductions from my business income, which is so crazy. Yeah. Thank you guys. This will obviously be a huge help with reaching our financial goals. So let's talk about it, shall we? I am obviously gonna carry everything over from previous month, just to make things nice and easy. $40 for gas, $120 for electricity, $70 for water. Yeah, I think this is actually going down because Nick has changed his private health cover. He originally took out a policy with hospital cover because he had a really bad knee, he had multiple surgeries. Like, it was worth paying the extra, but now he's not playing cricket. His knee should hopefully, touch wood, not need any more surgeries. And so yeah, just at this point in our life, I think we only need extras. So I'm not 100% sure what the amount is, but I'm gonna say $100. It's definitely reducing by a substantial amount, so we'll go 100, and then we can always update that if we need to. And then yeah, I think all of this is pretty normal. We'll copy over our subscriptions. Copy over our mortgage and car loan. This is actually our last month with our fixed interest rate on one of our loans. Isn't that so sad? So this is our variable loan, the mortgage, the build one, and then this is the one that's on a fixed interest rate. I think it's 2.69%. It's been fixed at for the last 2 years, and that is coming to an end next month, which is so sad. I can't believe it's been 2 years since we settled on our land. That's crazy. So yeah, this will be going up by like at least $500, no, $700, something like that. I don't know. I've done the calculations. I've spoken to the bank, spoken to our broker. Yeah, we're sticking with a variable interest rate for both of our loans, even though they're still split and we can change it at any point, but we're sticking with variable for now. Who knows what's going to happen. It obviously does make things a little bit difficult when it comes to budgeting, just like knowing exactly what to expect, but it is what it is. Car loan, I'm going to put at $440, which is our minimum repayment, and then we can adjust that. I'm going to do things a little bit differently this month, which this I used to do all the time when we were saving for our house deposit and for our wedding. When we were really grinding and really saving hard, I would always budget for our savings first. So rather than going through our variable expenses, budgeting for things like groceries and coffee and things like that, I would always set aside money for our savings or our financial goals first. We kind of take a different approach now just because we're not like super strict with our budget. We're just in a different life stage nowadays and just spending a little bit more freely. But I know that we'll probably come back to this at some point. And for this month in particular, I want to allocate money for our savings first, just so we can reach our goal of saving for our US trip. It's going to be a huge month business wise. So let's make the most of it, because who knows what the next few months have in store. I really don't know what my income's gonna look like for the next 2 months. Our mortgage is going up, like we're gonna make the most of this while we can. So I've got my We Money app up here, which is what I use to track, like our net worth is automatically tracked on here, my goals as well. Anytime I put money into our US saving pot, I'll track it on here. Our goal is to save about $18,000. Again, might change this as it gets a bit closer, but I've budgeted $18,000 and we have saved 68% of that. 18,000 take 12 294. So we have $5,706 left to save for our US trip. So that's exactly what I'm gonna put in our budget for our saving. And then I'm gonna go through and do our expenses. This is just how I like to do things. Like when we were saving for our wedding, I knew how much our wedding was gonna cost, how many months we had until we had to pay for those costs. And so it's all about breaking it down month by month. Our US trip isn't for another few months, but I would love to just have it all saved, set aside, and then we can focus on our next financial goals next month. So that's what we're gonna do. 5,706, that's in our travel account, which is actually our offset account, but I just like to differentiate between the two because it's going towards a different thing, like we're eventually gonna be spending it. Cool. All right, so that leaves us with 7,716. I'm gonna try and keep our spending quite low, like lower than what we spent last month, which is around 3,500. Groceries, I'm gonna budget 600, so that gives us 150 per week. Petrol, we'll budget 185. Home, I don't think we need much for the home. Maybe some like cleaning stuff. We'll say 50 for home stuff. Health, I'm gonna budget 100, just because I think we need some more protein powder, vitamins, that kind of stuff. Social, don't think we have that much going on. I can think of like, let me look at my calendar. This is another thing I like to do. I'm working 2 out of 4 weekends, so I won't be doing a ton there. Oh, we got Mabel's grooming appointment, that's good to remember. I have a friend's birthday, so we'll say 200 for social. Coffee, I'm gonna budget 200. Or should we try and cut that back? We're trying to have a lower spend month. Let's say 170. Eating out, 120. Date nights, we are doing 2 date nights a month, as you guys know, one inside and one outside of the house, and we're alternating. So I did the outside date night last month for our anniversary, so it's up to Nick to decide. I messaged him and I think he said about 150, so I'm gonna say like 200 just to play it safe. And then if there's anything that I need to buy for our date night, our inside date night, I have a couple of ideas in mind, so I think that should be plenty. Mabel doesn't need any food, shouldn't need any treats or toys, she's got plenty. I actually just reorganized our laundry and all of Mabel's supplies, and I'm like, holy dooly, this girl is spoiled, she has so much stuff. So the only thing is her grooming appointment, which I think is maybe $50 or 60. I'm gonna say 60, I think it's 50, but entertainment, I'm gonna budget 50. Oh, actually, I'm gonna up our health to 150 just because I'm doing pickleball now. It's $9 a week. So obviously 9 times 4, 36. We're upping that just to include that. Sorry, just had that light bulb moment. Gifts, 50. Books, I am in my reading era right now, so we'll say 30. Alcohol, 75. Rideshare, 50. Metro card, 15. It's usually around 15. And then travel, I don't think there'll be any travel expenses this month. So that makes our variable expenses 2,335, which I would love to keep around 2,500. We were doing that all like this time last year, but we were also in a very different financial position. We had very different expenses. In the last 12 months alone, the cost of everything has gone up a substantial amount, so I don't know how realistic it is to keep it around 2,500, but that gives us a little bit of wiggle room if I need to change anything as things kind of come up, if I need to adjust our budget. I'm all about adjusting whilst also holding myself accountable. Cool, so that leaves us with $5,381.75. So what are we gonna do with this money? Obviously I want to invest. That's one of my 2024 goals, is to invest every month. So to keep that going, let's invest $500. Sure, why not? And then car loan, obviously we're trying to pay that off as quick as possible. So I'm gonna say 2,000 towards our car loan. How much does that leave us with? 3,321.75. I'm gonna say 3,000 towards the car loan. I just want to get this bad boy paid off as soon as possible. And then everything else I'm going to put into our offset account. So 23175. Just because, you know, emergencies, cost of living, our mortgage repayments are going up next month. The more we put into our offset account, the more it's going to offset some of the interest on our mortgage. But also just like in a very real sense, social media income is very sporadic. It can be very lucrative, but it also, you know, comes and goes in waves, as Dean Lewis says. And yeah, I just want to be on top of things, I guess. And also just boosting that emergency fund, because our expenses, like our fixed expenses with our mortgage, will be going up by $700. So I kind of need to counteract that. But yeah, that is it. That should be an every dollar budget. Yes. Woohoo! Thank you so much for watching this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out, and subscribe as well if you're new here or you haven't already. I love you guys so incredibly much. Thank you so much for making my dreams a reality, and I'll see you very soon for another video. Bye guys!